What's poppin', everyone? Adama here. Now, Xiaomi has recently been pushing into the Nigerian market, and Redmi, a sub-brand of Xiaomi, is also pushing into the Nigerian market. We saw the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 come out a bit earlier this year, and now we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 in Nigeria. So I actually got a chance to play around with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro. So here are my thoughts. Now, this phone, the main highlight is actually the processor that it has, the MediaTek Helio G90T, which is a gaming-oriented chip that performs like a beast. So before I actually get to the processor, let me actually talk about the other sides of the phone that are pretty decent and are noteworthy. So let me start off with the build. Now, this phone is actually a glass sandwich where you have glass on the front and back and plastic on the sides. Now, glass, people have said, is very premium and feels much better than plastic in the hand. If you ask me, I don't see any difference. It just adds this fear of your phone getting cracked if it falls on the ground, and I don't think that's something that anybody wants to have, but it's user dependent. It doesn't actually matter. Now, what is actually striking about this back is the color. Now, I love that color. It almost reminds me of the Redmi K20 Pro with that beautiful color that actually dances around the side. It doesn't do the shiny fire-like design that the Redmi K20 Pro was doing, but it actually reminds you a lot of it. And then I love the green. The green is actually very beautiful to look at. Now, the display, on the other hand, is a notched display, 1080p, and about 6.5 inches. Very nice and vibrant to look at, and I did not have any problems here. Now, I know there are still people in 2019 who hate the notch, and they are desperately just trying to manage the notch. So if you don't actually like the notch, you can actually hide it in the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8. But why would you do that? It's a teardrop notch, for God's sake. It's not like the iPhone 10. And then most people are living with the iPhone 10 right now very comfortably, and they're not even complaining. And then someone is still complaining about the notch. That's not really logical. But moving away from that, now the display is very good. It's vibrant and it's punchy. And if you ask me, this is the kind of display that we should be seeing on techno devices. I mean, still stuck at 720p on most of your devices is very, very annoying. Trust me. Now, one thing I actually want to point out here about this phone, not the cameras, not the design, not the display, but that fingerprint reader. That fingerprint reader is blazingly fast. Like, it's scary to me actually how fast it is. Like, it's just like, and it's unlocked. The face unlock is also the same as the fingerprint unlock, but then you don't actually want to use the face unlock as much because face unlock is not as secure as, say, the iPhone or the Huawei Mate 20 or Mate 30. So I just recommend stick with the fingerprint reader. It's not an in-display fingerprint reader, but then I don't think anyone would be expecting that for just about 80,000. Oh, okay. Forget I even said that. But then this fingerprint reader is blazingly fast. I'm not even joking. Like, I had to actually look at this again and again to actually be sure. And it is very, very fast. Very, very, very fast. Let me just move away from that for now, and let me actually talk about those cameras. Now, it's a 48 megapixel main camera, and I believe a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. I love shots from this phone, let me not lie. It does pixel binning to where you're getting 12 megapixel shots instead of the full 48 megapixels, but you can actually shift to 48 megapixels, but then trust me, I don't think there's any use for that. If you're shooting a 48 megapixel, it just means that you want the extra detail, which is not really worth it, especially since 12 megapixel shots are actually what you'll be uploading to your social media if you're taking pictures with this phone. Actually, that's what anybody taking pictures with this phone will be doing. So just stick with 12 megapixels for now. So how the shots from this fare? They're bright, they're colorful. I've not noticed anything. Of course, this is just me using it for like the first time, so I can't actually see for sure how good the camera is, but so far the shots are decent. The shutter is very, very fast and it does well. The ultra wide lens is pretty good, and then that 2x optical zoom lens, oh my god, I love it. Now, because there's the optical zoom lens there, you can actually now do much better portrait mode depth sensing, and portrait mode shots should actually come out pretty good in this phone. Like I said, it was my first time using the phone, so I didn't actually have time to test, but trust me when I say that this phone will serve you very well if you're getting it for just the camera. But then now let's talk about the side that I actually love the most, which is the performance. Now, like I've already said before, it's rocking a MediaTek Helio G90T, a gaming-oriented chip with about 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage, depending on the variant you get. 6 gigs of RAM is enough. Trust me, it's more than enough for your basic daily tasks if you're not someone that is too power intensive. But then if you now get to gaming, that's where you actually start to notice the actual efficiency of this chip. Now, I was playing PUBG and Call of Duty with my friend that actually has the device, and normally before, when I got my Umidigi F1, my game would load up before any other of my friends' phones because my device was much faster than theirs. But then when I started playing with him, his game will actually have loaded before I enter the game, and he'd have already probably done a lot of things before I land in game. Let me give you an example. In Call of Duty, if you play Battle Royale, you have to choose your class before the game starts. So you can choose to be a medic, a scout, a mechanic, a clown, anything you want. So basically how his game works is his game will load up first, and then he'll pick the medic class, which is what I love to be. And then I enter the game, and then I'll be like, the medic class is already chosen, and I'm like, wait, what? So it was very, very annoying. But then it goes to show you how fast the phone is. The phone is very, very fast. Gaming performance is pretty good. Now, I've also heard some complaints that the phone overheats from time to time, but it's not something you cannot deal with. So for the price, if you ask me which Xiaomi phone should you get, I'll actually tell you to get the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. It's a decent chip and it does well. But then the decision is totally up to you. Let me know in the comment sections below what you think about this device. Is it worth your money, or do you want to go backwards and get the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7? Or would you rather just wait for another device to come or get an even cheaper device? Let me know in the comment sections below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.